Xerxes I governed an empire so vast it appeared invincible, earning him the nickname Xerxes the Great. His era was characterized by lofty goals, such as a significant campaign against Greece that involved intense conflicts at Thermopylae and Athens. However, how did a leader with such authority encounter such severe obstacles? In this video, we aim to delve into the life of Xerxes and the reasons behind the treachery within his own court. Born to Darius the Great, Xerxes received an empire that spanned the globe and a history of conquest. His initial steps towards securing and enlarging his empire involved suppressing rebellions and initiating a bold campaign against Greece. Despite early triumphs, he faced defeat at the Battle of Salamis, which resulted in his retreat. After his return to Persia, Xerxes concentrated on monumental building projects and pursued his father's legacy. However, his reign concluded in betrayal and murder by those he considered his allies. Come with us as we examine the life of Xerxes I, his ascent, his conflicts, and the conspiracy that brought about his demise. Xerxes I, often referred to as Xerxes the Great, was born into one of the most powerful and prestigious families in history. His father, Darius the Great, was a mighty ruler of the Achaemenid Empire, though he wasn't directly related to Cyrus the Great, the empire's founder. Xerxes' mother, Atossa, however, was Cyrus's daughter, which gave Xerxes a unique link to the roots of the empire. Born around 518 BC, Xerxes' early years were marked by training and education designed to prepare him for the heavy responsibilities that would one day rest on his shoulders. Xerxes' childhood was anything but ordinary. From a young age, he was trained in the skills and virtues necessary for leadership. Persian princes, including Xerxes, were raised under the watchful eyes of eunuchs who taught them the arts of riding and hunting. These activities weren't just hobbies, they were crucial skills for a future king who would need to lead and inspire his people. By the age of 14, Xerxes' education became more intense. He was tutored by 4 noble teachers who focused on making him wise, just, prudent, and brave. These qualities were considered essential for a ruler of the vast Achaemenid Empire. In addition to these virtues, Xerxes was also instructed in the principles of Zoroastrianism, the state religion, which emphasized truth, courage, and self-control. The teachings of this faith were meant to mold him into a ruler who was not only powerful but also morally upright. As Xerxes reached his teenage years, his training expanded to include mandatory national service, where he practiced archery, javelin, and military strategy. This period of his life was dedicated to building physical strength and tactical knowledge, ensuring that he could lead his armies with confidence and skill. This service lasted for 10 years, after which Xerxes served in the military for an additional 25 years, gaining practical experience that would be invaluable when he eventually ascended to the throne. Xerxes' path to kingship was shaped by both destiny and family dynamics. In 486 BC, as Darius prepared for another military campaign against Greece, trouble brewed in Egypt. The Egyptians, burdened by high taxes and the forced labor required to build the grand royal palaces in Susa and Persepolis, revolted against Persian rule. Darius, though determined to suppress the revolt, was in poor health and needed to ensure a smooth succession before setting out on another dangerous campaign. According to Persian law, the king had to appoint a successor before embarking on such missions, so Darius chose Xerxes, his eldest son by Atossa, as his heir. This decision, however, was not without controversy. Darius had an older son, Artabazon, who claimed the throne based on his birthright as the eldest child. Artabazon argued that as the firstborn, he was the rightful heir. Xerxes, on the other hand, had the advantage of being the son of Atossa, the daughter of Cyrus the Great. This connection to the empire's founder gave Xerxes a strong claim to the throne, one that was further supported by Demaratus, a Spartan king living in exile in Persia. Demaratus pointed out that in Sparta, the first son born after the father became king was considered the rightful heir, regardless of whether he was the eldest. This argument, coupled with Xerxes' noble lineage, helped secure his position as the successor. Xerxes' claim was also reinforced by the fact that Artabazon's mother was of common birth, whereas Xerxes' mother was a princess, the daughter of Cyrus. This distinction elevated Xerxes above his half-brother in the eyes of the Persian nobility and the broader empire. Thus, when Darius passed away in October 486 BC, Xerxes ascended to the throne without significant opposition. He was around 32 years old at the time, and his smooth transition to power was due in large part to the influence of his mother, Atossa, who wielded considerable authority in the empire. Upon becoming king, Xerxes faced the immediate challenge of securing his empire. The revolt in Egypt had to be quelled, and he needed to assert his authority over the vast and diverse territories that made up the Achaemenid Empire. Xerxes successfully suppressed the Egyptian rebellion and swiftly dealt with another revolt in Babylon, demonstrating his capability as a ruler. These early challenges tested his resolve and leadership, but they also solidified his control over the empire. With these initial threats neutralized, Xerxes turned his attention to continuing his father's unfinished business, the campaign against Greece. Darius had long sought to punish the Greeks for their interference in the Ionian Revolt, and Xerxes was determined to fulfill this objective. He assembled one of the largest armies ever seen and prepared to march into Europe, setting the stage for the epic confrontations that would define his reign. Xerxes' reign was marked by both triumph and tragedy, military victories, and personal losses. His early life and the circumstances of his ascension to the throne shaped him into a formidable leader, one whose legacy would be remembered for centuries to come. Xerxes I, also known as Xerxes the Great, was born around 518 BC into the royal lineage of the Achaemenid Empire. His father, Darius I, was a powerful ruler, and his mother, Atossa, was the daughter of Cyrus the Great, the empire's founder. This connection to both Darius and Cyrus gave Xerxes a strong claim to the throne. Raised in the royal court, Xerxes received an education that emphasized leadership, military skills, and the principles of Zoroastrianism, preparing him for the responsibilities that lay ahead. When Darius I died in 486 BC, Xerxes was chosen as his successor, despite challenges from his older half-brother, Artabazan. Xerxes' claim was strengthened by his mother's royal lineage and the support of influential figures within the empire. Upon ascending to the throne, Xerxes faced significant political and military challenges. Early in his reign, he had to suppress revolts in Egypt and Babylon, asserting his authority over these rebellious regions. These successful campaigns allowed him to secure his position as king and maintain the stability of the vast Achaemenid Empire. With these initial obstacles overcome, Xerxes was ready to take on the larger ambitions of his reign. Xerxes I is widely known for his ambitious campaign against Greece, a defining moment in his reign. Determined to avenge his father Darius I's earlier defeat, Xerxes amassed one of the largest armies of the ancient world. His forces marched into Greece in 480 BC, leading to the famous Battle of Thermopylae. At Thermopylae, King Leonidas of Sparta and a small Greek force made a heroic stand against the massive Persian army. Despite their eventual defeat, the Greeks' resistance became legendary, symbolizing courage and sacrifice. This battle, though a tactical victory for Xerxes, slowed his advance and gave the Greek city-states time to organize their defense. Following Thermopylae, Xerxes moved forward, capturing and burning Athens. However, his naval fleet faced a crucial test at the Battle of Salamis. The Greek navy, under the command of Themistocles, lured the Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis, where the larger Persian ships struggled to maneuver. The Greeks used their smaller, more agile ships to devastating effect, winning a decisive victory. The defeat at Salamis marked a turning point in Xerxes' campaign. With his navy crippled and fearing further setbacks, Xerxes retreated to Asia, leaving behind a weakened force. The Persian invasion had failed, and the outcome reshaped the balance of power, securing the independence of the Greek city-states and marking the decline of Persian influence in the region. Xerxes I's campaign in Greece ended in failure, leading to significant consequences for the Achaemenid Empire. The defeat weakened Persia's hold on the region, marking the beginning of the empire's decline. The loss at the Battle of Salamis and the subsequent retreat signaled a shift in power, as the Greek city-states emerged stronger and more unified. This defeat not only damaged Persian prestige but also strained the empire's resources, contributing to its eventual decline. Despite his military setbacks, Xerxes left a lasting mark on Persian culture and architecture. He continued the work of his father, Darius I, by completing and expanding grand construction projects in Persepolis and other key cities. These projects, including the magnificent Gate of All Nations and the Hall of 100 Columns, reflected the empire's wealth and artistic achievements. Xerxes' contributions to architecture showcased the grandeur of the Achaemenid Empire and solidified its cultural legacy. Historical sources have portrayed Xerxes in various ways, from Herodotus's accounts of a proud and vengeful ruler to modern interpretations that consider the complexities of his reign. Over time, his legacy has been shaped by these narratives, reflecting both his failures and his contributions to Persian history. Thanks for watching. For more intriguing stories, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next.